Hello there. Whoa! Hey, your face.
Hi. Just
How's it going, man?
when that countdown timer hits 0 and I know the camera's on, pow! I'm ready for action. Rest of the
Right
day,
in the
I am
kisser.
just non-communicative.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Communication is a key part of filmmaking. I'll tie this thing together.
Communication is key for marriage, but also, more importantly, it's key for a good podcast.
Yeah. Key for anything
Keys go
that
indoors.
requires key. The key goes into the keyhole.
Yeah.
Communication. This is the key, by the way.
The key
this
is the
keyhole.
message.
I will not be doing that again.
No.
On this podcast.
We didn't mean to. We're going chatting pitch after dark. We're going to talk about all those movies that we don't normally talk about.
Absolutely so.
All the what was your version of Men in Black?
Oh no, we can't talk about that here. No. This is let's keep it kosher.
Let's keep it kosher.
Let's keep it PG.
Let's keep it tight.
Rated G.
Let's keep it tight, like a key going in a lock.
In a tight key lock. You turn the key, the door opens, and what did we get? The best podcast in town.
Open the door. We're here.
What are we even talking about? We've been rambling for 2 minutes. But you've got a great attire on at the moment. At first, I thought you were going in for a business meeting, but turns out you're actually going for a run.
I might go for. I'm going to go for a cycle after this.
Yeah, do it. I wish I had a bike. I do not.
Jump on my unicycle, and I'm going to go away.
Hey, if you get 2 unicycles, does it become a bike?
I was just thinking you should be able to detach your bike from itself, so that you could give a wheel to a friend.
Oh. Arguably, that's more dangerous than just sharing the bike.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't think not a lot of people know how to ride one wheel, let alone 2. I mean, 2's hard enough.
All those crazy people who don't know how to ride bikes, riding around town, crashing into poles and hedges and whatnot. The hedges, Leslie. The hedges.
The hedges. Yeah. Hedge funds. That has something to do with this
funds,
this movie
money
that we're going to talk about, right?
Money can be used for schemes. What sorts of schemes? Well,
speaking of schemes, here's the jingle. So, welcome to Chatting Pitch. We are a podcast that talk about films. We also pitch ideas to each other, like we're in a writer's room. And we want to pitch these movie ideas to producers in Hollywood and whatnot. Most of which are quite seedy, and we don't like them.
We wouldn't want to meet them personally. We just want their money.
But by God, do they make good movies? And today,
do broken people make great movies?
Last week we didn't introduce ourselves, but we're going to do it again. We're going to do it this time. So my name is Leslie, one half of Chatting Pitch, and this person in front of me who's about to go on a bike.
And I am Matthew D. Smith, the half that is constantly fiddling with a microphone.
Yeah, perfect. I noticed last week that my microphone was a little bit too far away from my mouth, which made it sound a little bit more echoey. So this time,
closer.
It's right here. Good stuff. So what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about a scheme, Leslie.
Oh, what kind of a scheme?
A scheme, an absurd scheme made by Wes Anderson. Can you tell what it is yet? Wes Anderson, what Wes Anderson movies have you seen?
It's the Fantastic Scheme. The Fantastic Mr. Scheme. That's it.
Yeah.
No, the Wes Anderson films that I've seen.
The Grand Scheme Hotel, everyone.
In chronological order, I haven't seen all of them. But in chronological order, I've seen Rushmore. I have seen Fantastic Mr. Fox. Oh, wait, no, was that before or after Darjeeling Limited? Probably after.
After,
right? I think. Yeah, after. I have seen The Grand Budapest Hotel. I have seen Isle of Dogs. I'm not doing this in chronological order at all.
No, it's fine.
And I've seen Asteroid City. And guess what?
Go on.
I've seen Phoenician Scheme.
Oh, you said you weren't going to see it, you crazy man.
I caught it.
Well done.
I caught it.
In between going to a million weddings. Listeners, Leslie is a wedding man. If you want him to turn up at your wedding and just
I'm all about weddings
hang around, leave a comment.
They made a movie about it. It was called The Wedding Crashers. Except it's just me.
Yeah. And you don't actually, you don't really crash the wedding. You just sort of show up and...
I show up because I was invited.
You be sociable.
Yeah.
The wedding attendee. Didn't mark it well with focus groups.
The wedding man. Yeah. The wedding guy.
This summer, he'll turn up to your wedding and he'll bring a +1.
There are a lot of wedding movies, isn't there? But this one isn't one of them. This one is nothing to do with weddings. I don't know how we got into weddings.
This is the Phoenician Scheme.
You said that I went to a wedding.
We say a lot of things.
Who's counting?
Keys and doors.
Keys and doors.
Keys and doors. Scheme hotels. Yeah. Who knows?
Schemes.
What would you say is
the
your
fantastic
favorite
Mr. Scheme? Sorry?
What would you say is your favorite Wes Anderson?
My favorite Wes Anderson is probably a toss between
Wes Anderson wearing
a hat.
Wes Anderson wearing a funny mustache?
Paul W.S. Anderson. Which one? Paul Thomas Anderson.
I like Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah. The Matrix Anderson.
I say that's very up my own backside of me, because Paul W.S. Anderson has made some decent movies.
Made some good ones.
He made Death Race, didn't he?
Did he make Death Race?
I think so.
Are we talking about Paul W.S. Anderson or Paul Thomas Anderson?
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah. He also made all the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
Most, if not.
But let's not hold that against him.
Yeah. He did another one recently, which was it was marketed as from the author of Game of Thrones.
Oh, Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
And it sort of disappeared.
And I looked at the trailer and I thought, wow, this is very green screen, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're nowhere.
Yeah, I didn't bother with that one.
Yeah. But yeah, favorite Wes Anderson. Go.
Favorite Wes Anderson is a toss between The Isle of Dogs and Grand Budapest Hotel.
Ah, okay.
It's a toss between those two. Yeah. I did like Darjeeling Limited, actually. No, you know what?
Was that the one with the famous painter, Adrian Brody?
Yes. The famous painter. I honestly don't remember much from it, but I remember having a good time. And I just remembered another one I've seen, The Royal Tenenbaums.
Okay.
I have seen that. I don't remember much from that one either. They all seem to kind of blend into one, really.
Okay, well, he has a signature style, doesn't he?
He has. He definitely has. His whole dollhouse effect, where it's like going left to right.
Yeah.
Down, and everything's very symmetrical and quirky and pastel colours. That's right. You heard it here first.
Pedro Pascal colours.
Pedro
Pascal's face on all the wallpaper.
I think he'd do well in a Wes Anderson movie.
I think he would.
Yeah.
He should be in this one, except everyone's so good in it. Sorry, go on.
This one's got some newcomers. Michael Cera, first time Wes Anderson movie. I don't know, has Benicio del Toro been in any other ones? Or
I don't think so. None come to mind.
Who's the other lady? Kate Winslet's daughter. Which apparently I only found out until afterwards.
Kate Winslet's daughter.
I was looking at this actress. I was like, she looks very familiar. She's been in some things, right? Turns out I've never seen her in
Kate Winslet for 9 months.
Turns out I hadn't actually seen any movies that she's been in, but I've seen her mother. And
I've seen your mother.
What's this movie about, really? Because I'm struggling to really answer that myself. What this movie is about. The plot's very. I'm not gonna lie, it did confuse me a little. But on the base level, it's about a businessman.
Yes.
Right? Played by Benicio del Toro.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably do a better job at explaining this movie than I can.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
So Benicio del Toro plays Zaza Corda.
Zaza Binks.
Who's a business... Misa
Phoenician Scheme. Sorry.
We both went to the same thing. That well is dry. So Zaza Korda, who at the very start of the movie, he's subject to an assassination attempt, and it turns out that this is not his first. He takes it very, very casually. He's a businessman that doesn't like to do things the usual way, and he's a bit of a talker. He's got a gift of the gab, as they say. And then the main crux of the movie is he's appointed his daughter as his sole heir on a temporary basis. He wants to see how she's getting on as he tries to develop his Phoenician scheme, this new business venture. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get into spoilers just yet.
But what exactly is a Phoenician scheme?
The whole thing is basically he's gambling everything that he and his family have on this scheme working.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of financial ins and outs, potentially a very, very boring topic, but I did not find it boring at all. It was presented very well. But that's the sort of general gist of the story.
Yeah. What is Phoenician? What is Phoenicia? It's a fictionalized country, is it not?
Yeah, I think it's a fictionalized location where this scheme is happening. It's him building tunnels and building dams. He's an industrialist, so it's all that sort of thing. But he's not the nicest of guys. There's a bit in the movie where he reveals that he not only could stop a famine, but chooses not to. He actually instigated the famine.
Which part was that? Was that
about halfway through? Again, I don't want to get into spoilers too much.
Yeah.
But it's very much an absurdist movie. The pace goes at quite a clip, which I appreciated. I don't know if you thought that the pacing was very, very swift.
Yeah, in many ways. It's kind of like it's a road trip movie, isn't it? In a way,
almost.
You're going from one location to another, visiting loads of quirky characters played by a lot of A-list celebrities. Two of which being Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston, which is probably my favorite scene.
Yeah, their segment was great. And then Bill Murray finally turns up as the actual god.
Yes, he does.
Because he's had...
took me by surprise.
Yeah, because Del Toro's character has had these near misses. Every so often he'll pass out or he'll almost die, and then he'll have these, whether they're hallucinations or not. I think they're not. I think he's actually experiencing going up to some sort of afterlife. And he gets these little...
And he meets loads of different type of... well, they're played by different actors, aren't they? Like, you've got Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
You've got Bill Murray. And there are others.
There's a great scene. I think it's the first time he goes there, and he's sitting next to his grandmother. So she's in heaven, and he's sort of working out the line delivery of like, "Why are we here?" that Del Toro gives is just hilarious. People talk about line delivery of the year. I think it probably goes to Del Toro in that scene for me.
What does he say? He goes like, it says, "Grandmother, why are you here?" or something like that. Or why am I here?
Why are we here? Because it's the first time he's experienced this afterlife vision. So she's trying to work it out.
I don't know who you are.
Yeah, the whole thing is really, really absurd, and it culminates in this fantastic chase scene featuring Benedict Cumberbatch in a massive beard, and a death scene that I thought was pretty funny and pretty shocking.
Yeah, it's kind of bookends the movie, doesn't it?
I was just thinking that, because you got quite a shocking piece of a violent display right at the start.
The opening,
yeah.
Well, let's talk about like some of the other actors. Mia, I don't want to call her Mia Winslet, which is part of her name.
No, she's credited as Mia Threepleton.
Threepleton, that's it. That's why I couldn't remember it, because it's like a 4-syllable word. So, which I can't comprehend off the top of my head.
But
3 syllables is enough. 4 syllables.
Michael Cera.
Get the hell out of here. Yeah. No, I thought Mia was quite good.
I thought she was great. I thought she was really, really deliberately understated, really, really funny. They made quite the trio. Her, Del Toro, and Michael Cera.
Michael Cera, yeah. Which his character is what is he? He plays a
tutor,
a Swedish tutor.
Bjorn.
Is he Swedish? Yeah, Bjorn. Yeah, and he's really into bugs.
Yes. Del Toro's character has hired him to teach him about insects and other such creatures.
There's this great bit when he's at the dinner table and he brings out a praying mantis.
Yes.
And Benicio del Toro's reaction.
He just loses it.
He just loses it.
But at his sons, because his sons scream. Yeah.
Yeah, they all get scared. It's like, well, what are you scared about?
Yeah.
And then, like,
what are you, men or mice? You should be lions. And everyone's just sort of, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah.
No insects at the table.
Mia is like the estranged daughter, and she is
she's going off to be a nun, isn't she?
Yeah, and she asks him at one point, like, why do you have so many sons? Why have you adopted so many children? And it's like, well, you can never be too sure. Like, I'm paraphrasing it, but it's like, you can never be too sure. I mean, this guy could be the next Einstein. And it just pans to him, and he's just sat there smiling, not saying a word.
Yeah. Basically, he's saying you don't know if you're going to get some duds. Yeah.
So you might as well just cover all bases and get as many children as you can. That's essentially the tone of the movie. It's very, very absurdist.
I think if it wasn't absurdist, it would be quite a heavy-going thing to watch.
Right.
But because it is such a piece of absurdity, it makes it very, very funny.
Yeah. I will be honest, though. I would be lying if I didn't say I didn't enjoy all of it. Because I think maybe I went in...
I'm working out Leslie's triple negative. I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say.
I'd be lying if I said I loved it.
So you would be lying if you did say that you're Mia Threepleton.
That's right.
Go on.
All I'm saying is that I think I wanted to love this more.
Okay.
Because I do like Wes Anderson movies, and I have really liked some of his previous works, but I don't think I loved this one.
Okay.
And I think I don't know what I was expecting, but I kind of went in feeling a little underwhelmed.
Okay.
But the standout things for me were the humor and the performances.
Okay.
The story I did not really care for.
Right.
But I don't know if that was the point. Okay. Maybe the plot wasn't as important as the moral of the story.
Was it that there was a specific thing you didn't like about it, or was it just that it didn't grab you?
It just didn't grab me, Okay. Every time it just cut to stats on the screen, and it was telling me like about the gap.
Yeah.
And all the percentages, and I don't know, that kind of stuff just kind of lost me.
Okay.
I wasn't too crazy about. But maybe that just makes me more of a simple moviegoer. I like something a little bit more straightforward.
I don't know. I took that as almost the point of that bit, that whatever the gap was, it was never fully explained.
Yeah. And maybe that was the thing that I was...
You were fed little bits of info about what the gap was, but by the end of it, I was sitting there going, yeah, I still didn't fully get it. In the same way that the percentages made sense. So for those people who haven't seen it, every so often you'll get a list of names, characters who Del Toro is working with, and how much money they're putting in to the group, to the scheme. So the percentages I understood.
Down the list
and it was the amount of money these different people were putting in, and he wanted them to put in more, they wanted to put in less. That bit I understood, but the fact that it never fully explains what the gap is, it almost reflects how, we're presented with these things. I keep seeing it quoted in British media, this 2% of spending on the military. And I keep seeing that, and it's never fully explained in news stories what that all means.
Yeah.
It's that idea of just, okay, we're going to hit these buzzwords. It was like when everyone was talking about 1.5 degrees, right? with the rising temperatures with global warming. Do you know the thing that I'm referring to? So everyone was talking about 1.5. No one was talking about anything else. No one was talking about the complexities of the problem. They were just talking about, hey, 1.5. Hey, have we hit 1.5? Have we hit 1.5? And Anderson deals with this mystical gap in the same sort of way that everyone has to hit a certain amount. Otherwise, Del Toro's character is flush out of cash, essentially.
Well, maybe that's the one thing that was lost on me then, because maybe I was looking at it a bit too much on face value and just thinking, I think I was wrapping my head around what the gap really meant. And I think that maybe overtook my enjoyment of the movie because I was thinking, am I just not getting this? And
right.
I think that's probably what he wanted me to feel like. I'm not sure, but that kind of dampened my enjoyment of the movie a little bit.
Mr. Anderson, I didn't understand your movie. Good.
Up for the debate. But no, you had the opposite feeling, did you? You enjoyed it a lot?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was it was one of those that I could enjoy just at surface, on the sort of surface level. But I got the impression that if I went back and watched it maybe a second or third time, that there would be more to unpick.
Okay.
Because there have been lots of movies out lately where it's very clearly things like what was it, Mickey 13? 17? How many? Who knows? Mickey 17, where it was very clear that Ruffalo was playing like a 80% Trump, 20% Musk character.
Yeah.
Right? To simplify it. Whereas this is more, Del Toro isn't playing Trump. He's not playing any specific person, but he's playing that sort of character who is a talker, who has this charisma, who there are multiple times throughout the movie where he tells someone to do something and they try and negotiate and he's saying, no, it's not a request. I'm telling you. No, it's not a request. I'm ordering you. But then you see how absurd he is because in the next sentence, someone will say to him, well, no, I'm not doing that. And he'll say, this isn't a request. I'm begging you. It's like, oh, okay. Suddenly the facade drops down and we see the real him. So the character is absurd. The movie is absurd, but I think it's saying a lot about the sort of times that we live in. It's a product of its time.
It's a product of its time. And I feel like at this point, Wes Anderson, he's got his signature style, and it's effectively like a sandbox for him now. Like, I think what happens is there's a specific person that funds his movies, and I can't remember who he is, but he basically just says, "Look, Wes Anderson, we trust you. Just do something," and he does it. But he's kind of constrained in his own sort of sandbox in a way where he's got his own. I mean, you could say that about loads of directors; like they've got their own kind of flavor to it. But at times, I do feel like I've seen this before. You know, with his aesthetics and also the rhythmic timing of the way characters interact.
Right.
They're very much caricatures, and it's not meant to be taken realistically, obviously. Like they're all cartoon characters, essentially, right? But for me, I think, if I'm being honest, it felt like, oh, this is Wes Anderson doing his Wes Anderson thing again. And maybe I was expecting more out of it. I think that's probably why I was a little bit disappointed, because I was like, oh, this is just Wes Anderson doing his Wes Anderisms. And some people love that, and some people really hate it. I didn't hate it. I don't think I hated this movie. I liked it. I just don't think I loved it. And yeah, that's just my opinion.
See, it's funny that we think the same things but have a different opinion. Because from the very,
but for you, you're like, I love it. Give me more.
From the opening shots, I was thinking the same thing. Like, this is just Wes Anderson. He's just playing and he's having a good time. And from the opening few shots, I was just sat in the cinema with 3 other people, packed house. I was just sat there thinking, like, this is going to be a good time.
Yeah, and you had a great time.
I did. I loved it.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Movie of the week, Leslie. This or Lilo and Stitch.
In terms of rating, I think personally I'm just going to give it a chatting.
Okay.
So because I'm like 50-50 on it, I do like Wes Anderson, but I do feel like I was expecting a little bit more.
Okay.
But that's just me. How about yourself?
Probably a chatting pit C. Almost.
Oh, pretty high up.
There were some things that happened late on in the story where I thought, I know this is supposed to be an absurd story, but there was... I don't want to go into a spoiler, but there's something that Del Toro's character chooses to do, and I thought that just seems out of character. It just seems a bit bizarre.
What, the very end?
Not the very end.
Okay.
I thought that was very in character, but towards the end. Well, maybe we can talk about it in spoilers, but yeah. But chatting pit C, sure. I mean, apart from that one little bit. C.
That takes the H off.
Yeah. What can you do, eh?
Anyway, let's talk about spoilers then.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if there's much for me to spoil, but what was the thing about the ending for Benicio del Toro's character, Jar Jar Phoenician?
Now, for me, this is probably one of those things where anyone who has seen the Phoenician Scheme more than once could just turn around and tell me, actually, you're an idiot. But I thought his conversion to Catholicism, becoming a Catholic, just felt out of character to me.
Okay.
And it didn't seem like something he was even doing as part of like a bit or as part of the scheme. It just seemed to be something that happened. Whereas everything else was driven by, it's driven by his character doing this. This is driven by this character doing this character making this choice, and they're doing it because it's their nature. Whereas that just seemed to be, it's a thing that's happening now for some reason. It was almost like,
what was the motivation behind that?
I guess the character does make a point. Sorry, I just buffered. The character just made a point of saying, okay, I have seen these visions. Yeah, maybe it was in character, because I think by the third or fourth heavenly vision, he is explaining, well, okay, I've seen these things, so now I believe.
Right.
Maybe not. Maybe I need to reassess.
Maybe you need to give it a chatting pitch then.
I don't know.
So it's not a full price chatting pitch movie, is it, for you?
Maybe it is a full chatting pitch. I've just convinced myself. Matthew, you're an idiot. Thank you, Matthew. Point well taken. There you go. I changed my rating. World-changing news.
Are you actually doing chatting pitch then? Is it chatting pitch?
Full chatting pitch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I loved it.
See, this is the first.
I would love a Wes Anderson movie more than Grand Budapest Hotel. That is one of my favorites, but I would say this is up there.
Really? Well, I think Grand Budapest Hotel was better, in my opinion. That is just my opinion. Can we talk about the basketball scene?
Yeah, sure.
Because that was great.
Yeah,
I just found it really funny seeing Bryan Cranston doing dribbling.
Yes.
And doing his little moves.
Shuffle.
Yeah. And also, I forgot Riz Ahmed is in this, isn't he?
Yeah.
He plays like a prince for a brief period. I do really like the bit where he's like telling Benicio del Toro's character, I'm actually really bad at basketball. Like, I can't do this. And he just shouts at him, and he kind of.
Well, I also love how bad Del Toro's character is.
Yeah, they're both very bad. I mean, they're not sportsmen.
He'll go to shoot, and the ball just like smashes into a window.
I really liked it when Riz Ahmed went under the basketball net. He just threw it through, and then came back down. He was like, "Does that count?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was by far the funniest part of the movie for me. Were there any other standout parts in it? I
really liked the sequence with Benedict Cumberbatch that I've already mentioned, where he's just an insane person. And it's made clear in the movie that he's not after Del Toro's character because Del Toro wronged him or is asking for more money from him. He's just out to get him, just to see who can lick who, as they say. And that final sequence where he just appears behind the big presentation, You know, when they got the model of the trains going through.
Yeah.
And he just
appears
he's
got those yellow eyes.
Like this weird Godzilla, and just this massive beard and these eyes of madness, and he's covered in that.
Covered in purple dust or whatever it was, yeah. And then he explodes.
Yeah.
Which, it mirrors the beginning, whoever that guy was on the back of the plane. Yeah.
I love that also that it cuts to the next time they show the inside of the plane. He has purposefully stuck Michael Cera in that same spot.
Yes. Yeah, he did.
Like there are half a dozen other seats that he could have sat on.
I almost thought he was going to also...
Right.
And I think that was like the foreshadowing.
Did you like... This is major spoiler. Did you like the switch with Michael Cera's character?
I did. I thought... I had a feeling that he was going to, because his Swedish accent was very wishy-washy.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure if that was on purpose, because I thought maybe at one point he's just going to be like, actually, I'm not Swedish. I'm an American spy. Did you like that?
I did. I found it very enjoyable.
Yeah, I liked it when he said like, "Oh, there's barely any difference," and he takes off his glasses. He turns around, he's like a completely different person. He looks like James Dean almost.
Yeah. Have you seen him in Molly's Game? So Molly's Game is a poker movie about...
It's Leonardo DiCaprio, isn't it? Or is it Tobey Maguire? It's one of the two. It's based on their life.
A lot of people
Allegedly.
There's this infamous... I think it's based on a book as well, about these real-life poker games that had famous Hollywood celebrities, among other very, very rich folk. And Molly's Game is the story about the person who organized these games. And one of the people that was involved in his games was Tobey Maguire, and Michael Cera gives a performance that is just enough Tobey Maguire so that it's not him, but it is.
But allegedly, well, effectively it is him. Okay.
And it's these little things.
Good movie?
Sorry?
Good movie?
Pretty decent. It's got a lot of Aaron Sorkin-isms.
Okay.
Sure. 'Cause he wrote it. I don't know if he might have directed it as well. Yeah. And Idris Elba's a little bit wasted, but it is what it is.
Well, maybe I'll check it out one day. Is it Jessica Chastain?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I remember seeing her on the poster, but I never really knew what it was about until I read up the synopsis. And that's the only reason why I know about the whole Tobey Maguire thing.
Right.
Michael Cera, I think he was once typecasted a lot for a very specific character, i.e. the Superbads, the Scott Pilgrims and all that. But then he did try and break out of his shell a little bit, and he did a little indie movie called Youth in Revolt. Did you ever watch that?
No.
Where he played like a split personality.
Okay.
And one half of it was him being his caricature, his very anxious, like almost there was this archetype of a particular character during those times, and I can compare him to the likes of Jesse Eisenberg.
Like verbal diarrhea, nervous.
Yes.
Very anxious.
But then in that movie, Youth in Revolt, the split personality was the complete opposite. So it was just like the badass.
Okay.
He had like a little pencil mustache. He was smoking cigarettes, almost like what happened in this movie. Yeah. But it was two of them playing opposite one another. I actually don't remember if I liked that movie or not, but I do remember I liked his performance.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a good actor. I like Michael Cera. I really liked him in This Is the End.
Yes.
Remember his character?
Yeah, just ridiculous.
The cocaine-fueled Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Just abusing everybody.
Sipping on a juice box.
Yeah. Slapping people's rears.
Yeah.
Rihanna. Which apparently that was improvised.
Really?
Yeah. Or at least the part of it was improvised. I think they just said, like, just be awful.
Just be awful, Michael Cera. Yeah.
And then she legitimately slapped him in the face, like, really hard. And they kept that take.
Great.
Anyway,
wonderful.
Phoenician Scheme. Phoenician Scheme. You loved it. I thought it was okay. Is there any room to pitch our own Wes Anderson movie?
Oh, I don't even know how you do that. Who does Wes Anderson better than Wes Anderson, you know?
Yeah. Paul
W.S. Anderson.
Les Anderson. Me.
Lee Anderson. Gross. Ugh.
Ugh.
Ugh. Anyone who doesn't know who Lee Anderson is, just look him up and. Ugh.
Well, with that note, let's hit the mid-break jingle. Oh, hey! I've got an idea.
Okay,
why don't we mash up all the Anderson?
All
movies?
the Andersons. Okay.
That gives us a bit more.
So we're gonna have a sort of absurd comedy.
Yeah.
That is incredibly precisely made.
Precisely made.
With a ton of green screen.
Yeah, ton of green. Everything's green screen, but also everything's symmetrical.
I suppose that would help with just a green screen.
What is Paul Thomas Anderson, PTA, as Adam Sandler likes to call him? What's his signature for his movies?
I think he likes to examine a little bit bleak. He's done a few where he's examining people with power and what power can do to you.
Name some Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
There Will Be Blood's probably my favorite. Boogie Nights is pretty good too.
I haven't seen that one.
What else is there? The Master, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah. I mean, talk about The Master.
So
I'm just trying to make sure my hair's symmetrical, because symmetry, you can't have Wes Anderson without symmetry, as we all know, and Wes Anderson is nothing else. There's no substance. No substance. It's just symmetry. As soon as you've got something symmetrical on the screen, then you've achieved it.
There you go. If we really want to go there, shall I add some extra moles on my face?
Yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't be Wes Anderson.
No. Or remove them.
With a laser.
I'm not doing that.
If you had to get them removed, what would be your preferred removal?
Well, which mole would I rather remove?
No, like how? Like a sander, or like a laser, pew pew pew, or something else I can do sound effects for. I don't know what that was. That was an orangutan.
Have you ever heard of
peeling off?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I want. I want an orangutan to rip out the moles of my face.
No, it's an orangutan. So it's going to be super gentle. Like one hand's like rubbing your hair, and
he just rips my face off.
That's a chimpanzee, man. You don't want a chimpanzee, do it. Chimps are crazy.
Oh yeah. The orangutan's the chilled out one, isn't he?
Yeah. Orangutans are like, hey,
the gentle
it's
giant.
Okay. Let's just climb up this tree. It'll all be good. Whereas chimps are like, well, we're basically humans, so we're going to kill you.
I love how we're like, let's pitch a Wes Anderson movie.
But
by the way, what type kind of monkey would you like to remove your moles off your face? Are there any other Andersons? I swear there are.
Are there any other monkeys? Which monkey is which Anderson?
There we go.
I think Wes Anderson is the orangutan.
Wes Anderson's the orangutan.
Paul Thomas very Anderson, understated, very funny at times. I think Paul W.S. is he's a chimp.
Paul W.S. is the chimp.
Yeah.
And Paul Thomas Anderson's the silverback gorilla, maybe.
I
don't know my monkeys. If I'm being real honest with you, I don't know my monkeys.
You don't know? You need to know your monkeys, mate.
I've watched a handful of monkey movies.
And I know
in fact, last year was the year of the monkey movies. You had King Kong, you had The Monkey, you had Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and there must have been others.
There will be some people who are saying these are monkeys, these are apes. I guess primates. Which primates are these?
Yeah. Okay.
I think Paul W.S. Anderson could be a silverback gorilla. Takes a while to do anything, but when he does, it's like, whoa, this is big.
That's right. What about a spider monkey? Who's he? Who's that going to be?
That's just Mr. Anderson from The Matrix.
In a suit.
Captain in a suit.
With a gun.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Mr. Anderson, he has to be in the movie then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we haven't discussed what
We're
this
mashing up
movie's
all the
about.
Andersons.
It's the monkeys, right? So this is a monkey movie with all the Wes Andersons, all the Andersons together in one.
I'm looking up famous Andersons. We could have Gillian Anderson.
You know what I've just got. I made a bit of a mistake here when I was talking about The Matrix. When I said Mr. Anderson, I immediately thought of.
You're thinking of Hugo Weaving, right?
I was thinking of Hugo Weaving. No, Mr. Anderson is Neo, right?
Yeah. Unless he's talking to himself in the mirror. Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith Anderson.
He's getting confused.
Mr. You got this. You got this.
Right. Gillian Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is in the skis.
The truth is in the schemes.
Right? In the schemes. There we go. The monkey schemes.
Yeah. We could have Pamela Anderson. She's making a comeback.
She is, isn't she?
Didn't she
recently make a movie? Something about
something about Andersons. That's what we'll call it.
Something about famous Andersons. Is that what you put?
I've got the list. Yeah.
Clive Anderson. Who's he?
He's a funny guy.
He's a presenter. Oh yeah. Wasn't he part of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
He was in the British version, the one that's much drier.
Right. So
there we go. We've got some Andersons now.
Anderson Cooper, the broadcast journalist.
Nah, he can make a cameo, I guess. He can be on the news.
I guess so. Who is the most famous Anderson in the world? Top
just comes up
Andersons.
Just comes up with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Louis Anderson, remember him?
Louis Anderson.
Yeah, he had his own cartoon, I remember, at one point.
Who is Louis Anderson?
He was a famous comedian from the 80s. Louis Anderson, everybody. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Louis Anderson.
He's been in loads of stuff.
Oh, it's Louis Anderson. Oh.
That dude.
Well, he can't be in a movie if he's died.
Well, they can always bring him back with the AI.
No. Wes Anderson would not stand for that. Green screens, yes.
Have we got? Maybe we've got enough Andersons.
Yeah, I think we've got enough Andersons. So what movie do we have? We've got Mr. Anderson, Keanu Reeves. We've got Gillian Anderson.
Yep.
Truth is in the Schemes. And Pamela Anderson. What movie could they be in together? That could be made by those three.
Right.
By the director Andersons.
It's the monkey movie, right? It's the green screen monkey movie. That's all asymmetrical.
So they all play monkeys.
Well, it could be motion. It could be stop motion, couldn't it?
They could be monkey scientists. I think that could be a Wes Anderson movie, slightly off the beaten track.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we watching a movie about? Is it like a superhero or like a secret agent? No, these are three monkey scientists. But then the monkeys could break loose, and then you could have some Paul W.S. Anderson stuff going on there. Green screen, fighting,
slow motion action
sliding
scenes.
Around, slow motion. Mm-hmm. Pamela Anderson, there you go. She could do like an ironic Baywatch thing.
But she's mocapped as a monkey, right?
No, she's the monkey scientist. She's a scientist who's
the monkey scientist.
Monkeys. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are we having actors play monkeys, or are the monkeys just... We've got monkey wranglers?
We'll have all the other minor Andersons play the monkeys.
Okay.
So we've got Clive Anderson, we've got Anderson Cooper, and we've put them in those grey suits with the black and yellow dot things.
By minor Andersons, do you mean they're children?
Well, Clive Anderson's quite short,
they're trying to find their mining Andersons.
Yeah. We go into a tunnel and we say, hey, is anyone here called Anderson? You just hear it go, yeah?
Yes.
Want to be in a movie? Beats this. And then they come out with us.
Oh.
Easy.
And what was this movie called? The Monkey Scheme.
No. What was the Bigfoot one? Something in the Hendersons. Harry and the Hendersons.
What are you on about?
There's a movie. Look up Harry. Look up Harry and the Hendersons.
And the Hendersons. I have no idea what this movie is. What is this?
You've never seen this before? It's John Lithgow.
No. John Lithgow. Does he play Bigfoot?
I think he plays. He plays Harry. No. Sorry, no. He's the dad in the family. Sorry.
I've never heard of this movie in my life.
He plays.
Is this a cult classic of some sort?
I think so. Yeah. So we could call it Harry and the Andersons.
Yeah, Monkey
Keanu
and
Reeves
the Andersons
plays Harry Anderson. Although there could be a monkey called Harry. I don't really know.
Yeah. No. You know what? Because they're monkeys. Harry and the Andersons. We've done it again, folks. 10
we struck gold in that mine. Anderson, get over here, you beauty.
Technically, looking at the poster, Harry and the Andersons, he was also Harry. So.
Yeah, Harry and the Andersons. That's great. So are they like a family as well? So Keanu Reeves, I would say, doesn't really look like Gillian Anderson or Pamela Anderson. So he could be married to one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's married to Gillian Anderson, and then Pamela Anderson is like her sister, and they're all Andersons.
Potentially. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, Keanu Reeves is the only Anderson that's not an actual Anderson, a fictionalized Anderson.
Well, then he could take her name at the altar. So there could be a moment, because there's always a thing in Keanu Reeves movies where he's like, whoa, even though I feel like that's played out. So instead of having the whoa moment, you could have him doing like, what am I going to be called if I take your name? And Gillian Anderson delivers the line. She turns around and says, Mr. Anderson. And then everyone in the cinema is like, oh, he said the thing. She said the thing. It's revealed
that his first name was Thomas, or after all, after you see the wedding agreement. Like, a nod. And then he dodges some bullets.
He's really quite dim. What's my name again? But he really knows his apes.
Yeah. He's like the Michael Cera of this movie, but he knows everything about apes.
Yeah. Oh, so he is like not a double agent, but he's not who he seems to be. We could have a reveal where he's like, you thought I was an expert on apes, but actually, I'm an expert on primates in general. And everyone's like,
he thinks all apes are called prime apes.
He's an idiot.
he says he knows his stuff, but he really doesn't.
How did he pass monkey college? Maybe that could be his degree. Like they look at his degree and it's like, wait a minute, it says he passed monkey college. And he's like, yeah, monkey college.
It's just like, it's a piece of paper, it's all chicken scratch. Like, but monkey is spelled M-U-N-K-Y.
So does he think that he's actually gone to a legitimate school, or is that something that he's made? Like he's been caught out and he knows it.
Yeah.
Or is he sitting there going like, monkey college.
What does Gillian Anderson see in him?
Yeah.
He just admires
he's tall.
He's tall. He's tall and he's handsome.
Or is it that he actually thought he was going to a place called Monkey School, and it was just like this back alley place, but he was going there for like 3 years every day.
Yeah, all the teachers were monkeys, so he clearly didn't learn anything.
He's like, yeah, we do this, and he just pulls his hands down his trousers and throws.
He just comes back covered in poop.
This is monkey work.
It's like, I did it, folks. I graduated.
And he could be covered. Anyway. He could be covered in poop the same way that Daniel Day-Lewis is covered in oil in There Will Be Blood. There's a whole ocean of poop under our feet. No one could get at it except for me. Whoa.
I've only seen that movie once.
How many times have you seen There Will Be Blood? There Will Be Blood. I've seen it many times. I think it's great.
It's a very rewatchable movie for you, huh?
Yeah, it is. That would be a chatting pitch. Same way as this movie would definitely be a chatting pitch. Harry and the Andersons, folks.
Well, on that note, I think we've said everything we have to say about Harry and the Andersons.
The rest we'll just leave to the imagination.
the rest will write itself. So yeah,
we'll see what those broken movie men insist on us putting in there. Giant spiders.
Anyone up for the takings? This one's
easy
I think
pickings.
We've got lightning in a bottle here.
Yeah.
So
got a monkey in a bottle.
Going once, going twice. Sold
to Don Simpson. May he rest in peace.
Chatting Pitch has been brought to you by Leslie Way and Matthew D. Smith. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to listen to others and maybe even subscribe. You can follow us on the website, formerly known as Twitter.
Listen to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Leslie and Matthew have their own side hustles as well. Feel free to check out Leslie's YouTube channel or Matthew's Medium blog. Links in the description. If you want anything else, we might have other links in the description if we think of anything interesting to add. Thank you for listening. I love you.